What's up, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to dive into a mailbag where we answer questions from you subscribers out there. So if we don't get to your question today, it's your fault, and you should change it by subscribing to Giants Now by Chat Sports. We are going to continue to pump out free daily content on this channel all year long as we enter the offseason, free agency, draft season, and soon enough, it'll be training camp and OTAs again. So subscribe and note he's on. Jay Sports Card, what's up, homie? To draft a wide receiver one or sign one in free agency or trade for one? Yes, the Giants need to find a way to add a legit weapon to this offense last year. I liked the gamble that they made on Darren Waller last year. You gave up the 100th pick in the NFL draft. You gave up half of what you got for Kadarius Toney. I like that trade. We knew we had the risk with the injury, but I think it was a good move. But this offseason, Jay Sports Card, yes, the Giants need to make a move for a legit wide receiver. Do you draft one, sign one, or trade one? I think it all matters with everything matters. Like, there's got to be some context to what it is. For me, I think the best way to do one is to draft one, right? Because they're cost controlled for 4 to 5 years. You sign one, you're going to have to overpay. I wouldn't mind trading for one because we've seen other teams in this league trade for good receivers and it not hurt them, like the Philadelphia Eagles traded for A.J. Brown, the Miami Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill. You could trade for a good receiver. There's some good ones in free agency. Mike Evans will be there. T. Higgins could potentially be there. If I had to say what I would do, it's kind of hard for me to answer because I don't know how the rest of the offseason is playing out and I don't know who's available. I'm going to say probably a trade is probably more likely. I'll say trade. Leonard Zinnard, my man, $5 super chat. Best name on YouTube. What's up, Brody? Stay away from those 5 millis, dude. Those are crazy. Says, F the narrative. We gon' beat them Eagles. Me and Jalen Carter got IG beef, so I need us to win so I can talk my she. What's the beef? Take a screenshot of it, Leonard Zinnard, and send it to me on IG. MarshG10, I believe, is my name on IG. Something like that. We'll put it on the show. I'd love to beat the Eagles. It could be sad. Gilly! Glad we got your question on today's show. Shout out, producer Coop. BPA at 7, O-line in round 2. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Even if the BPA at 7 is the offensive line, like if Joe Alt's there or Olu Fashanu is there at 7, I'm cool with taking that player there as well, Gilly. You have 2 second-round picks. Remember, I know you know, but for the people that don't know, you do have 2. One coming from the Seattle Seahawks. But yes, through one of the first 3 picks, one of them has to be an O-lineman. Maybe even 2, Gilly. Gus Nini, Marsh, what do you see with Barkley's future with the team? I think they're going to franchise tag him again. I hope that's the way that they handle this. I've said it 100 times. I'm not giving Saquon Barkley a multi-year contract. Running back is the most dependent position in football. The guy had 9 rushes for 14 yards yesterday. And it wasn't Saquon Barkley's fault. So why am I investing heavy money into a guaranteed contract to a player that's also injury prone and his success is predicated off the offensive line? I would rather just give the money I'm going to give to Barkley to the offensive line and then draft one and let him cook. I think Barkley is a damn good player. I think he is important to this football team. I'm not giving him a multi-year deal. I'd franchise tag him this year, and I'd franchise tag him next year, and then let's have a conversation when he's 29 years old. Not giving him a long-term deal. Micah Gibson, it has nothing to do with the person. I love Saquon. I'm just talking about what I think is best for this organization. Micah, what up? Would you make this trade? 3 first-round picks, this year's second, a 5th, 6th, and either X-Man or Jackson, and next year's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Well, you can't trade Adoree Jackson because he's going to be a free agent. Yeah, I would do that. Is it a lot? Yeah. Are you overpaying? Yeah. But once you get your quarterback, let's go battle. Let's go fight. I don't think that's the ideal way to go get your quarterback, considering giving up 3 first-round picks, a 2nd, and a 5th, and a 6th, and a starter. and next year's third, fourth, and fifth, I think that's a wild overpay. I don't even know if the Bills say yes to that, but yeah, I would do it because Josh Allen, in my opinion, is the second best quarterback in this league. Pokey Moore. If we're 5-9, and the Jets are also 5-9, but they beat us, why are we under them at pick 6? I'm sure we had the tougher schedule. Head-to-head tiebreakers have nothing to do with draft picks. It's all about strength of schedule, and you can't figure out the full strength of schedule till the end of the season. So if we are picking under them, that means that they had a harder schedule than we did, or an easier schedule than we did. So hope that answers your question. Who do you want the Giants to draft? A lot of talk about what the Giants should do. Should they trade up? Should they trade back? Pick a quarterback, pick a receiver, lineman? What do you think? Who do you want the Giants to draft, as they are going to have a top 10 pick in this year's draft? We'll get to more questions coming up in a second, but I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS, and PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America, and you should play today. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, choose more or less on their stat line, and see what happens. PrizePicks makes game day a whole lot more fun, and you can win some real-life monies. They also have awesome deals throughout the holiday seasons. You should get hooked up with them. It's the only way to play daily fantasy. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Il Caesar, any position you wouldn't consider in the top 50 in the draft? Honestly, no. No. I would take a quarterback. I'd take maybe running back. Maybe running back's the only one. I'd take Brock Bowers. I'd take a receiver. I'd take a DT. I'd take a D lineman. I'd take an edge rusher. I'd take an outside linebacker. Maybe not a middle linebacker. Because of Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden. So middle linebacker and maybe running back, the only two positions. But I could take a corner. I could take a safety. I could take a DT. I could take an edge rusher. I'd take any lineman. I'd take a tight end. I'd take a receiver. I'd take a quarterback. Great question. Probably just running back and linebacker, inside linebacker. Only two. Garcia Arts, what's up, homie? So let's say we rebuild our O-line and fire Kafka, and DJ still sucks next year. He gets benched. Do you really think Tommy will get us to the Super Bowl with an O-line? No. Don't really get your thought process. So let's say we rebuild our O-line and fire Kafka, and DJ still sucks. No. And it doesn't have to do with the O-line or Kafka. I just don't think Tommy DeVito's that good. Like, it just is. That's just what my eyes tell me. That's what my eyes tell me. Key 100M33. There's got to be like Kilo Meach. I like that. I don't think it's right. If we would have never paid Daniel Jones all of that money, do you think we would be a high record team, Mark? I don't think you're any better if you don't pay Daniel Jones, considering who would have been your quarterback. But, yeah, going forward, I definitely do think paying Daniel Jones is going to hinder the success of this team. I mean, next year he's got a $40+ million cap hit. And then once you cut him after next season, he'll have a $22 million dead cap hit for the 2025 season. So, yeah, you're going to feel the effects of that Daniel Jones contract for the next 2 seasons. I don't think you would be much better, though, if you didn't pay him, because who would you have got? And I think we've now understood that there's a lot more problems on this team than just the quarterback. I don't know. Maybe you would have drafted one. I don't know. Make sure you subscribe. Giants Now by Chat Sports. If you want to get your question on the next mailbag, hit that subscribe button. Stay in the loop on everything Big Blue. Free Giants content every single day. Stoic Leaders. Chance of a playoff berth if we win out. So I actually have the New York Times playoff simulator open right now, and we can roll through this. If it's telling me to make a subscription, that ain't going to happen. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Who do you think you are? Let's go to an incognito browser. Hold on. You think I'm making a New York Times login and paying? New York Times playoff machine. Got it open. You can always beat it with the incognito browser. Word to the wise there. All right. So right now, the Giants have a 1% chance to make the playoffs. If they beat the Eagles this week, it jumps up to 4%. If you beat the Rams the next week, goes up to 12%. If you beat the Eagles, you have a 43% chance to make the playoffs. So even if you win out, it's a coin flip, less than a coin flip. You need other people to, So no, Giants aren't making the playoffs. What up, G? Would you move up from 7-1 to select Caleb Williams? Yes. Absolutely. Giants need a quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I have him and Drake May neck and neck. I think Williams has a higher ceiling. I think May has a lower floor. But if Caleb Williams hits, he may be a multi-time MVP in this league. And Giants need that type of guy. They need that type of guy. Who would you rather have? Would it be Williams or Drake May? Type CW for Caleb Williams. Type DM for Drake May. I want to hear from you in the chat. Ghosty boy. Should we draft a QB because DeVito won 3 in a row, but he lost the Cowboys and we play them 2 times a year? I think we should get Jane Daniels. That's what I think. Tommy DeVito should not play any part in what you think you should do at the quarterback position going forward. It doesn't. No. Tommy DeVito is not your franchise quarterback, and he should have no bearing. Good word there. Bearing on what the Giants should do going forward at that position. Tyrano. Infinity. What odds do you think the Giants have of beating the Eagles? 1%. I mean, look, guys. We're a bad football team. The Saints just beat our ass. The Eagles, I don't think are very good either, but we're not. No, 1%. Hope I'm wrong. Hope this becomes a meme some sort. 1%, if that. Maybe it's a Christmas miracle. Maybe they throw batteries at Santa again and the fortune flips to our favor. I don't know. Gilly says any given Sunday. That's why I gave it 1% and not 0, Gilly. Any given Sunday, 1%. 1%. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Enjoy your holidays with your family. Hug them a little tighter. Good stuff today. We appreciate you. We'll see you later.